Hi everybody, I am Joel Adams with Missouri 4-H, and today I will be demonstrating on how to build a straw rocket. So first things first, we have our instruction pamphlet, which tells us what we need and what we will be doing today. And when we open it up, we see that we have a pre-flight checklist. So let's make sure we have everything we need. We have our paper, we have our tape, which is on my pencil. Straws, check, scissors, ruler, and a pencil. Right, yes. Okay, good. So now our objectives, or what we need to do. First, we need to create a blueprint for our rocket. So what our rocket's going to look like. I've built one already, and it looks like this. But to make a blueprint, that's pretty easy. That's just simply making a design or a sketch of what you want your rocket to be. So, well, I've got my straw. Not the best design in the world. I want some fins. I like 4 fins, but you can have 3 or 37. It's totally up to you how many you want to have. I want to have a point on my rocket. That way it cuts through the air better. And that's pretty well it. If you wanted to, you could always add some more fins up here. That might help your rocket stay a little bit more stable while it flies through the air. Okay, so I've got my blueprint. I know what I want to see. Now, I need to make that rocket. So, let's start with the body of the rocket. Now, we don't want our rocket to bend back and forth, and these straws are bendy straws. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that off. Right, great. So, now we have a nice solid body. Then, let's see here. Well, next we need some fins. I've already made a few fins here. These are pretty big. They're easier to see on the video, but you can always have smaller fins or bigger fins. It's totally up to you. But the way I did this was I took my ruler and I measured out, if you can see, 1 inch on this side. And then I can go over here and measure out 1 inch again. And then I can take my ruler and line up the 2 marks I've made. And that'll give me a straight line that runs parallel with the bottom of my piece of paper. That way I know every single one of my fins are going to be the same size. Then I can go like this, and I think I'm going to go a 1/2 of an inch. So that's going to be halfway in between my 1 inch mark. So 1/2 inch. And then if I do another 1/2 inch, so 1/2 plus 1/2, that's a 1. So there's another 1/2 inch. And 1 1/2 would be another 1/2 inch, and 2 would be another 1/2 inch. And that's going to give me plenty of fins for what I need. So next, we're going to do the same thing on the top. I'm going to zoom through here. 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2. Great. And then once again, I'm going to line up those 2 marks I made. And they will give me my straight lines that I need. Okay, now, I don't want a rectangular fin though. So instead, I want them to be triangular like this. So I'm going to cut this rectangle in half by lining up on 2 diagonal points of my rectangle. That'll give me my triangular fins. Okay, so there we go. Now I can cut those out. Making sure to line my line up with my scissors. Okay, and I can cut like this. There's my fins. Now I still need my cone, which is my top part here. And it's a little bit more difficult to make, but we can do it fairly easy. I like to go up to one of my corners, a corner that I haven't used yet, and if I make a 1 inch mark, and then continue making tiny little marks by keeping my corner on the 1-inch mark, but to move the ruler around. That'll give me a semicircle, or part of a circle. And here it's about 1/4 of a circle, which is 1/2 of a half. The reason I'm doing it like this is that this is going to give me a good straight edge on the bottom of my cone, so it's easier to tape it to my rocket. There you go. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of little marks, and I can just connect the dots with my pencil. There we go. And now I've got 1/4 of a circle, and that I can use as my cone. So we'll cut up this out. There we go. Okay. Then I can just bend that and put this corner to that corner, like so. I can make the top match it. And there is our cone. Now, it's a little big though, but luckily we can always just push it behind it, push our corner behind the other corner, and make this cone as small or as big as we want to go on top of the body of our straw. So, I'm just gonna test it out and see what it looks like for now. There you go. That worked pretty well. Now, you don't have to make a cone though. You can just put a couple of triangles together. Like, you could even use some of your fins for your rocket, the top of your rocket. The important part is to make sure that no air is going to come out of the top of your rocket, else it won't launch off of your straw very well. So you could even just pinch it closed and then put tape over that, and that'll keep your air from coming out. But I like cones because they look kind of like a real rocket. So let me get some tape here. I'm gonna put a tab back on this so I can't lose it. Okay. And then I'm gonna tape my cone nice and tight. Okay, I've got lots of tape left after taping that, so I'll just cut it off with my scissors. Put him on the table. All right, that looks good. But if I don't tape my cone onto my rocket, actually, that holds pretty well. Never mind. Perfect. Okay, fins. Same thing with the fins. You just want to tape them to your rocket. So let's get some tape. Line it up so that it's nice and straight, runs parallel with the body of the rocket. Looks good. Okay. Once you're done with that, you'll end with something like this. It's got all 4 fins or 37 fins on it, and your cone. Then you can take your straw that's smaller than your other straw, put it on. Okay, and I like to bend mine just because it's easier for me to shoot it off with. When you're shooting this off, think about where you're pointing your rocket. Because I mean, if you point it straight down, oops, it'll fall off. But if you point it straight up, well, then it's just going to come right back down to you. Now, we're looking for distance, though, so it's important to shoot your rocket at the right angle that'll let your rocket travel the farthest. Okay, so that's it. That's how you make your rocket.